Hello, this is George, and welcome to the Metalheads Podcast 2015 coverage of Maryland Deathfest. Before getting into things, I just wanted to say a few things regarding our field recordings. We tried out a new way of doing field recordings and met with less than perfect results. Based on that, I'm going to do a solo top 3 for you. This is Top 3 Things I Learned About Recording in the Field at Maryland Deathfest. Number 1. Windscreens, windscreens, windscreens. We were each carrying a Zoom H1 portable recorder so we could report from the show, but I neglected to bring the windscreens for them, and as a result, some of the outdoor recordings have some serious wind noise. Sorry about that. The worst of it only lasts a few minutes at a time, so if you wait it out, things tend to get better. 2. The second thing I learned was that I really should have earbuds plugged into the recorders so we could monitor how loud or quiet we sounded. Some of the recordings Buke blows out the mic by being too loud, and in others the people talking just aren't loud enough. So, lesson learned, and make sure to monitor the recording as it's happening. And finally, number 3, the third thing I learned was that my idea of having 2 recorders, one for each of us, and then syncing them into one recording at the end was a bad idea. Again, with the different recording levels, we had Buke swallowing one mic and blowing it out, while I was holding mine too far away and not getting a good enough level. Combined, these recordings don't sound so great. They beat the ones with the wind noise, but still could have been better. So next time, one mic with a windscreen and headphones to monitor. Despite all the issues, I think we still have an interesting recording for you. Check it out. I hope you enjoy it. If not, well, sit tight. We'll have a brand new regular episode for you in just a couple days. Without further ado, here is our Metalheads coverage of the 2015 Maryland Deathfest. Hey everybody, this is George from the Metalheads Podcast, and I'm here with
Buke.
And we are in the car, on the road, I-70, headed to Baltimore for the 2015 Maryland Deathfest. How are you today, sir?
I'm wonderful. Tired, but you know what? That's not even a fucking thought in my mind, buddy.
The weather today is absolutely beautiful. We couldn't have asked for a better day. Tomorrow is probably going to be a little hotter, but, you know, whatever. So, yeah, we are on the road, and we are headed to Baltimore, and it's about 10:30 in the morning. First band comes on, what, around noon?
Yeah, about 12:30, so, yeah.
So, all right, we're going to try and report to you throughout the show, between bands or when we just don't give a shit about somebody.
So I was thinking, as I'm working last night, George, and knowing we were going to do this little pre-recording headed down, what are your initial thoughts? What are you expecting to see here? Are you expecting to see an organized show? What are you most excited for? Anything you're a little nervous about? What are your initial impressions going in?
Well, I don't know about you, but okay, we're only going for Saturday and Sunday at the Edison lot because that's where all the big bands are that we want to see. But technically the show started on Thursday and Friday, and so, I started seeing things on Facebook and Twitter, and I'm kind of like, wait, what? No, it's not yet. And I'm like, oh, right. It starts 2 days before we get there. So it's been a little, I've just sort of felt like I'm missing something, especially with last night with, Obituary and Napalm Death and Vatnet Viscar and Suffocation, Bloodbath, of course, yes, and Valenfire. So it was tempting to go last night, but I really, it's the Memorial Day weekend. We're leaving our wives home alone. So I felt like Friday was a good day to, spend some time with the fam and sort of build up some brownie points for being gone the rest of the weekend.
Anything you're excited for? Any reservations about anything?
Well, the reservations are at the hotel. And excited about, well, what I'm excited about. Fucking Triptychon, man. That, to finally see Tom Warrior and Triptychon, that's going to be amazing. It'll be, I think it's going to be still kind of light out when they come on, which is kind of a bummer, but, whatever. We'll deal.
I'm really excited. I know it's not a band or anything. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm excited for this little merchant alley that they have.
Yeah, we brought a backpack along so we can load up on any goodies that we come across.
But, there's already an amorphous Maryland Deathfest exclusive vinyl. So it'd be cool seeing exclusive, posters, vinyl, shirts, and stuff like that. It'd be pretty cool to get.
And I'm such a nerd, I even brought a little plastic tube thing to put posters in so they wouldn't get fucked up by carrying it around all day.
Myself, I'm most excited for Primordial. They're my favorite album of last year. They go on tomorrow. That's what I'm most excited for. George, of course, Triptychon, like he just said. I'm a little nervous that I know they've been doing this for years.
13 years.
Yeah. Looking at the pictures and stuff, though, I'm a little nervous that the stages, you see these big European festivals. The stages are big, huge stages. These things look like little tiny stages with huge open lot that we're going to.
Well, it is in a parking lot right under the I-83 highway underpass, sort of like Chris Farley, even living in the van down by the river kind of show, But apparently there's a stage A and stage B, so I'm guessing that there's like a stage, parking lot, and another stage, and you just sort of turn around and go to the next stage. But I haven't seen enough pictures yet to quite figure out what that's going to be like, because they're just going right, there's going to be no changeover. It's just going to be band, 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 band. So, we're also looking forward to meeting people there. I know Buke already talked to the guys at the Nine Circles podcast, or Nine Circle?
Yeah.
Ninth, is it nine? No, Nine Circles.
Nine Circles.
Yeah. It used to be called the Horns Up podcast. So we're probably going to run into them and drink some beers. And, just in general, like when we went to Guarbecue, one of the best things about it was meeting fans from around the country, in this case, possibly from around the world, and just
hearing their stories. Yeah, hearing their stories, their experiences.
Yep, just talking to people and just, bonding with those metal brothers and sisters that we just haven't met yet.
I also, what I'm excited for, too, is... like we talked before we turned this on, that this may be the opportunity for us to see some of these bands ever.
Yes, I mean, and as I was just explaining to Buke beforehand, before we turned this on, some of the bands playing today on Saturday at the Edison lot, he was listening to some of their recordings, and he's like, man, this sounds kind of like shit. And I'm like, well, that's because these recordings, they haven't recorded anything since like 1987. And so all these recordings are like old school death metal, kind of shitty sounding. But, bands like Bulldozer and Morpheus Descends and Volcano, it's like, it's a big deal for these bands to be coming out and playing. I mean, Bulldozer's coming from Italy, and Volcano's from, I know it's South America, I don't remember which country. So it's kind of a big deal, even if you're not a fan. It's just sort of like, wow, you gotta be like, okay, well, this is pretty badass, Yeah, man, I saw Bulldozer play, So
we got kind of bummed out earlier in the week. Apparently, this is not the first time they've had to drop off, but Sodom had to drop off, closing out the main lot tonight.
Yeah, thanks to the U.S. government again. So many bands have to cancel tours, drop off tours or shows because the U.S. government can't get off their ass and issue their visa so that they can come over and play. And that was the case with Sodom. And so Razor is going to be headlining today, which I'm sure there's a lot of rabid Razor fans out there, and they're not bad. They've been around for a long time, but I've never been much of a fan, and it's a little weird to me that they're headlining. I mean, that's...
I would have thought Triptychon would have.
I could see them headlining at, like, Ram's Head or Soundstage, but at the Edison lot, yeah, I would have... Or even Arcturus would have been... is probably a bigger name as far as I'm concerned. But, whatever. I think they'll probably be good. I was listening to some yesterday and going, yeah, I remember these guys.
You know what has me the most excited? It just came to me when you were just mentioning bands there, is that, you know, you and I have been to the Ozfest and the Mayhem Fest. You get a lot of the poser kids there.
You mean like us?
So here is going to be, you know, this lineup is, this is a metal lineup. This is a, you know, true metal fest.
No metalcore allowed.
Exactly. So you're not going to get those high school kids. You're going to see them here, but, you know, as we say on the podcast, I'm expecting a lot of Brazilians to be here.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's going to be a very, very South American bullet-belted fucking jean jacket with patches kind of day, I bet you.
And they're going to be out.
And I'm going to feel like a pussy next to these guys. But, you know, what can you do? I was telling Buke the other day, actually, when I was at M3 with my wife, and I was looking at all the people there with their jackets and their patches, and I was like, you know, we really should. We've discussed this before, but we really should get like a vest and put patches on it and shit. Even though I'm an old fucker, and you know, just for fun, just to, you know, I'd probably only wear it when we go to shows.
They'd be rather large vests for both of us.
Yeah, I was even thinking going like leather. I saw a dude at the M3. You know, it was more of a biker thing, but it had patches on it. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of sweet. You know, different. At the very least, I'd have to go with black denim. Blue denim is just not really my thing. Even though my jean jacket from back in the day with all the patches was a blue denim jacket.
Do you have a back patch you would go with?
You know, I was trying to actually decide which way I would go with that. I was like, would I get a back patch, or would I just put a shit ton of patches on the back?
I have one already planned out. The Opeth Still Life back patch.
Nice.
It's already on my eBay watch list.
I'd have to see what I could find. I'm pretty sure I have a Woods of Ypres patch. I'm not sure whether... I mean, I haven't looked at back patches for fucking decades, so I don't even know. But if I had the choice and they make one, I would probably go with the Woods of Ypres back patch.
You had some communications with a Woods member this week? Yeah.
I had ordered Wanderer on the Continent of Saplings CD from Throssenblatt off of Bandcamp. And when I received my copy of the CD, Joel, pretty much the main guy, he does everything, or most everything as far as I know, had sent on along a little note saying, hey, thanks for the support, and he signed it, and I was like, swing! I was pretty excited about that, and so I posted it on Instagram and Twitter, and was like, hey, you know, a picture of it, and I was like, hey, check out what I got. It'd be really cool to get Joel on the podcast. And I posted that a couple of weeks ago, but apparently Joel came across it and wrote back and, you know, said, hey, thanks, and, you know, let's do this. So I'm totally psyched to try and get Joel on the podcast. I told him I'd send him a message through Facebook. I haven't done that yet because we're prepping for Deathfest. But in the next couple of days, I'm going to reach out to him and see what we can do, what we can set up. Supposedly the new Throssenblatt 3 album is almost ready for release. So hopefully we can time that where it's ready to go. Maybe we can even hear it beforehand, preview it so we can talk to him. But regardless, either way, as long as we can talk to him, that'll be fucking cool as hell. So,
yeah, the only thing going into today I'm a little bit worried about is the sound. Outside festivals on smaller stages have never had, in my experience, the best of sound. You and I have a history.
How many shows have you and I gone to where we've left and gone, man, that sound was fucking awesome?
I can't think of any.
Exactly. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So yeah, outside sound tends to sound like shit. But so what, you know?
Yeah.
It's gonna be metal and beer and metalheads everywhere. And fuck yeah, man, we're taking over Baltimore. So
yep,
should be good. You got anything else you want to add before we check out here?
George has gone out and bought a couple handheld recorders here. So throughout the weekend, You are going to hear George and I talking to other podcasts, other fans that we meet. If we're at a booth and there's a band there, and maybe try and talk to them. So because they didn't give out press passes for this event at all, they strictly say don't even fucking ask. So we'll see what we can get. Whatever we stumble upon, we'll try and get it.
Yep, so we'll try and make something interesting for you, and we want to give a shout out to our brother from another mother who is not here today. Yep. Hello, Jay. You will be here in our hearts and in our pants. We'll be thinking about you.
Because he's in our iPhone, in our contacts.
Exactly.
In my pocket.
Be close to my nuts. D's nuts.
He's nuts. Exactly. He's nuts.
All right. So we are out of here. We will. The change will be transparent for you, but
we could make this like a normal podcast. We could have called him on the Bluetooth here. Had him in the background.
Well, I was actually toying with that because I was thinking after tonight when we go back to the hotel, if we wanted to do a regular podcast, we could dial him in and put it on speaker, and I could hold this up to the phone when he talks. I tried it, and it works pretty well, but I'm willing to bet that we're either going to forget or just be a little too inebriated to pull something together of that nature.
Yes.
So, but we'll see. You never know. You might hear from Jay after all.
Who knows?
Exactly. All right. We'll be back. See ya.
And Devin Townsend, every time he's there, he always comments on the lack of symmetry there. Like, he loves just the lack of symmetry at Ramshead.
All right, this is George from the Metalheads podcast. I'm here with Buke, and we are here with a couple of the guys from Nine Circles podcast and their friend Kevin. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. How are you?
We are
Excited for MDF?
Hell yeah. It's kind of fucked up because I've been living in Maryland for like 17 years, and this is my first one.
Oh my gosh.
It's a good year. Good year. Make your first, though. It's a good year.
Are you going to be here tomorrow, though? That's the question.
That's
yes.
the big day. Tomorrow's the big day.
Big day.
Why is tomorrow the big day?
Let Tombs, Primordial, Neurosis, Amorphous.
Anomifrock. Take your pick. Take your pick.
Yeah, take your fucking pick.
Yeah.
So they were here yesterday. How did yesterday go? You gotta take the fucking give these guys the mics.
This is our third year doing MDF. This is our first time doing. Well, Corey and I at least did the all access, like all 4 days. All
I'm only doing Edison 3 day, but I did soundstage Thursday night.
Okay.
So, yeah. And yesterday and Thursday. I mean, Thursday was fine, but yesterday finished strong. Let's say. Yeah. We had.
How was the new bloodbath?
We actually didn't see that, unfortunately.
We do have to see Ven and Viscar over at Ramshead, which was totally.
I heard they had an amazing set.
They were
incredible.
They were incredible.
They blew us away.
Yeah.
They play any new material? I just got
new material.
I just got the new promo last night. I haven't listened to it yet.
It was amazing. You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
You're gonna like it. Yeah. And it sounded so good live. They just really translated well. They only had 25 minutes, and they did more with their 25 minutes than most of the other bands yesterday did with their hour.
Serious.
Valenfire that just tore it.
Valenfire was good.
Valenfire, their singer is a dry, hilarious guy. Like, he is fantastically hilarious. Like, he accomplished his dream of playing in a parking lot in Baltimore. He did it in spades.
Nice.
So, was there any, from your guys, your past experiences here? How does this year getting off to a start compared to previous years?
I think it's got to be the front runner. I really do. Just all told. I mean, we had some good experiences here the last couple of years. Seeing Carcass was incredible at the gates last year. But the way things are trending so far this year, this is definitely...
Yeah, and this is only the beginning. Like,
exactly.
These are
just the entry days.
The entry days. Like, once it comes to today and tomorrow, holy God. Like, this could totally kick.
We're gonna see
Triptychon tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna see Tom G. Fisher. We're gonna see Arcturus, like all this stuff. Plus tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's not even. That's a whole.
Who are you guys excited for?
So.
I'm here for Triptychon. That's the main reason. I love Triptychon. This guy here, he didn't like Triptychon. He's a pussy.
Are you
Primordial.
Celtic Frost fan or
Not really.
He's too young for that.
Yeah.
Oh, Primordial. That's good.
Primordial, Tombs.
Yeah, because
that's
Primordial
awesome.
released probably one of the best albums in a while last year.
They were my album of the year last year. This guy heard Triptychon's album last year, instantly said as soon as he heard it, album of the year.
Yeah.
Like he dropped the mic, walk away, album of the year.
They're both my top. They're both my top 10.
It was close. It wasn't Panopticon, but it was
Panopticon
close.
was good.
Yeah.
Hassan's pretty cool. Hi, Hassan.
Hey, Hassan.
There's our other buddy.
Oh, there's our other buddy. Hey, we're doing a live recording here for the podcast.
Cool.
Cool.
Hello.
How's it going?
How's everything going? Say hi.
Great. I'm having a great death fest.
Were you here yesterday?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Saw Cyanide, Master.
How fucking unprofessional is this? Hold on.
Ton, you want a beer?
That's our fucking third mic. If I'll call him back. Go ahead.
What was I going to say? We were talking about Triptychon.
Yeah, we were talking about Triptychon and who's your guys' highlight? So far, and who are you looking forward to?
Funebrarum, Cyanide.
Don't forget fucking Mob Deep.
Yeah, Mob Deep. Oh god,
Fucking Mob
were
Deep.
excellent.
They were fantastic.
Yeah, they were.
Conan killed it.
I heard that.
Oh shit, what was that other band? Three-piece band from
How was YOB?
Yob.
Yob.
Excellent. Yeah, they were beautiful.
I'm
We missed Yob this time out.
We saw them last month and 2 months ago.
They opened for Enslaved.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic.
That was a great show.
Right on.
Today I'm looking forward to Triptychon. I'm a huge
That's what we were just talking
I'm a
about.
huge Celtic Frost fan. So,
Love it.
Yeah,
Nice
there you
tattoo.
I can't wait to see them and Razor today and.
Are you guys a little surprised that Triptychon, after Sodom couldn't make it, the Triptychon's not getting the headline spot?
Well, Triptychon had to pull out last year, and there was not because Giger passed away.
Yeah.
Tom G. Fisher was a mess. There was no way they were going to miss it this year. Like, come hell or high water, you knew.
And they already had that organized. Like the way this works here, they can't just pull something out of their ass last minute when a band falls through. They have to just work with what they have. They already have the lineup organized for months in advance, so they're not going to be like, well, let's move Triptychon here. They just do what they can. Yeah, it worked out. The band Solstice is touring with Master, so when Sodom dropped, Solstice is around and they took the spot. But
That makes sense.
now it's a predicament because Razor conflicts with a band Adversarial, who are awesome too, playing at Ram's Head. So I'll probably watch Razor and then make some time to go see Adversarial. But
Yeah, how do those, since this is George, as you know, again, we've lived here our whole lives, never fucking made it here, we're posers. But when this Edison lot closes, do the times start to overlap when you got to choose who you go to?
Because
we had to choose last night.
Yeah, Soundstage and Ram's Head go later. Ram's Head usually the latest one to close.
Yeah,
right? They're usually
Ram's
going
Head opens at 10. I think they stopped doing music in Edison around 1 in the morning. So
Right on. Now, we mentioned Arcturus earlier.
Yes.
You know, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing them. However, they don't really sound. Have you heard the new album?
I have. I enjoy the hell of it. But at least me personally, I'm loving bands that are not just one set genre. And Arcturus is like this mix of black improg, avant-garde, almost just even hint of like garage rock in it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I've been trying to get into the new album, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, some of his ICS Vortex's singing's kind of not good, which is surprising because he's a really good singer.
But that's what I like about it, because it sounds so weird. Like, it really is. He's not hitting the notes perfectly, but it's like...
He's never hit a note perfectly, let's be real.
Yeah.
But it works for him.
Okay, well, he's not hitting the notes moderately in some ways, but it's still fantastic. I'm totally all about it.
I hope they play some old, like, wintry gray kind of stuff, too.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Who else is playing tomorrow?
Demolic.
That's
Neurosis. God, let's rattle them off. Thanafaxif is at Ram's Head.
Oh, the Anal Band.
The Anal Band.
Yeah. Portal and Impetuous Ritual, that's going to be truly frightening. And Nelt Road, awesome grindcore band from Portland, their first East Coast show, so that'll be really
badass.
awesome.
Wow. Right on.
Yeah. Winter, Skepticism.
Yeah, Winter. I want to see that. And Skepticism.
Yeah.
Cool.
Tomorrow's like both days. Like this is a good MDF this year.
This is
like
a very good MDF this year.
things are definitely picking up today and tomorrow, and it's already been good so far. So
How's the crowd turn out for this, guys? Is it packed?
It's been good.
It's been real good.
Good.
Yeah.
Last night
at Soundstage was insane.
Yeah, so Napalm Death was like 25 minutes late getting on, and literally everyone, I mean, I don't think anyone was still around at Ram's Head. Like, everyone had packed in, and it was just rampant.
Were they at Soundstage?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw them at Soundstage back in January, and it was pretty amation.
Yeah.
With Vorvad, Exhumed.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, even Ghoul set things up nicely for him, even if there was an extended delay.
Ghoul was fun.
Ghoul kind of tore things apart.
Hey guys, let me ask you, since you've been coming here for a couple years, we were talking about this on the ride down. If this keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because this is pretty much the premier festival now for metal in the States.
In the United States, it is.
Where do they move out from here?
Well, they're already trying to set up California Deathfest, which is like it's October. It's like a 3-day smaller thing.
Okay.
They are branching slightly. I don't think they'll ever move headquarters, but they might make more of a
Maybe M&T Stadium. Maybe.
I would love an open air death metal festival.
Wouldn't that be fucking great?
I mean, I've
the
done.
rumor for the longest time was they would move to Pimlico Racetrack or the fairgrounds when they were looking for a place outside of Sonar. But the Edison lot is pretty great so far.
Yeah, when you see like a Wacken or other festivals, you see your power metal next to your black metal.
Which is awesome.
It is, and that is. 'Cause I'm a big power metal fan. Is this crowd accepting of that? Do you guys think if they were to evolve into that?
I think
they do a whole bunch of different.
I mean, look at how they took to Mobb Deep.
Yeah,
I mean, they were loving it. I think
it's a Mobb Deep. If you look at it, I mean, it started off as straight death metal, but I mean, like last year they had, I mean, people went nuts for something like Solstifier or something like Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, and that's far from
the year before that they had the Melvins, and the Melvins killed it. So you have metal. Right. Everyone here is very accepting of it. Like if Arcturus are gonna play the day after it was a strictly death metal day, I think that kind of says.
Yeah, they've been branching out for a while now. I think your typical metalhead listens to stuff like grindcore or symphonic black metal, so I think they're definitely branching out in genre. It's not strictly death metal as it was years back.
So long as they don't get Korn or Limp Bizkit or any of the new metal shit in here.
New metal that's another category.
As long as the metalcore stays away.
That Deathscape will get that.
Deathscape will get all that remains
on
of
the
world.
Kid Rock stage.
Okay, well, anything else you have to say? We're sitting here, have some more beers. I'm already 3 beers down. I haven't even seen the fucking band yet. It's 12:32.
Yeah, we still have to go get our wristbands. So.
Yeah. Who cares about a fucking...
Definitely plug, Nine Circles podcast.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
plug away.
9 Circles just rebranded. We were Horns Up. It is www.9circles.co. At _9 Circles, Twitter and Instagram, Facebook at 9 Circles blog. We're podcasting, we're blogging, we're doing album reviews. It's good stuff. Hope you guys will check it out.
And I'd also love to plug my production company, Visibly Shaken Productions, on Facebook at Visibly Shaken Productions, Twitter at VShaken. We have a new web series called The Shades coming out in the next couple months. Satirization of religious extremes to the nth degree.
Co-host emeritus Kevin Davis.
Kevin Davis, everyone.
Yes. Thank you.
Right on.
And gentlemen, you guys just want to plug a band or anything?
I'll plug my promotion company, Ripping Headaches.
Yes.
I book shows in Baltimore and DC.
One last thing. Let's go around. Album of the year last year.
Fuck me.
Mine, I'll say this. Primordial, Where Greater Men Have Fallen, was mine.
Yeah.
Followed by Tombs.
I mean, I can give you an album of the year this year so far.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the new Tau Cross record.
Yes.
I dig that. I dig that with the whole Amoebics and Away from Voivod.
And Away, and a dude from Misery, and Warplague.
George and I are pretty high on the Dodheims guard.
Yeah, the new Dodheims guard's up there for me right now. So.
This year, I would say definitely Ilsa's Felon's Claw on A389 Records. Probably the best metal album I've heard so far. Really heavy cyanide worship, good Death and Doom album. Last year, I would say Horrendous Ectosis.
Yeah.
That's a great.
How do you say that album? I never could figure it out.
Ectosis.
Yeah.
That's
a great album.
Yeah, that album, I found that right at the end of the year last year, and I messaged him when I heard it. It was
a good mix of Swedish and Florida death metal.
Yeah.
The two guys both play guitar and they shred. It's like the Judas Priest of death metal.
You know who I kind of like them right now, just released a new album, the new Entrails album.
Yeah.
Is a lot like
really
them a lot.
too.
Yeah, it's really good. Yours?
Last year, Panopticon, Roads to the North. This year, so far, really liked Tribulation, Children of the Night, and I really liked Olten. Their album Mode, they're like Swiss post-sludge heavy shit. Really, really good stuff.
Dude, these guys are too fucking pretty for us, George.
Last year, definitely Panopticon's Road to the North and Devin Townsend's Casualties of Cool. It's not exactly metal, but Devin Townsend could do no wrong.
That is fact.
And then this year, Arcturus' new album is pretty kick-ass, but that's just where I'm like.
Last year, hands down, Behemoth the Satanist. That album was a long time coming, and Nurgle fucking killed everything he wanted to do with it. This year, so far, I've been mostly impressed by their Veganer Freiheits, Stellar. Black metal from Germany. It's good stuff.
Very
Cool.
Black metal.
Yeah.
Oh, I would also say the new Noisome album, Blossoming Decay. Great thrash metal album. It's the missing link between early Cannibal Corpse and early Slayer, and they're all young kids playing really awesome thrash.
Right on.
Yeah, they're from Baltimore.
Well, to end this first interviews here, this is why George and I and all of us love metal, because 20 minutes here and we already made fucking friends.
Damn right.
So guys, let's cheers again.
Cheers.
And yeah, exactly. Let's have a great fucking metal.
All right.
And you guys.
We'll be back.
Sweet.
Hello again. This is George.
And this is Buke.
And we are, what time is it? About 3:12 in the afternoon, so we're a little way into the show today. We're taking a little break, sitting down out in the parking lot. Thought we'd give you a little bit of an update. How you doing, Buke?
Absolutely wonderful.
Right on. So, for me anyway, the band so far that I've really enjoyed, Serpentine Path, they were fucking heavy as shit. You know, Buke looks at me and like I'm like thumping my chest because I'm like the bass on their sound is just so fucking loud.
Yeah, every time, you know, the fucking drums would hit or the bass would hit, it's like somebody's pushing you, right, standing right next to you.
Yeah, it was fucking incredibly heavy.
Start the, you know, Deathfest for us.
Yeah. And then right after that, we went over to the other stage, and Twilight of the Gods was on, and of course, that was fucking spectacular. Any thoughts on that one?
You know, you see these members from other bands, and all you can hear is, you know, you hear Twilight of the Gods songs, but then I was in my head, I kept hearing Primordial, because, you know, that's the singer from them. But, you know, they sounded amazing. It was a nice break, because we know we were going to get a lot of heavy, you know, death metal stuff after them.
Yeah, and it's funny because then later, well, you know, obviously tomorrow we'll be seeing, what's his name, Alan again?
Yeah.
Singing for Primordial. And the bass player for Twilight of the Gods is playing right now, and I'm not sure if how to say it. It's like Einherjer, something like that. It's like Norwegian Viking metal, and we just bowed out at the end of their set because we wanted to take a break and get this recorded, but they sound pretty fantastic as well.
They certainly do. They certainly do. Walking in so far, there's probably, I'd say, 20 to 30 merch vendors set up. Any shirt you could possibly think of, for the most part. CDs, tapes, vinyl.
It's a fucking merch reunion there. It's ridiculous. It's like I was telling Buke, it's like going into the ice cream store that has every fucking flavor and you don't know what to get.
Sorry, George. The nice thing about this is you're not getting, you're not saying you're bad, but you're not getting the Judas Priest, the Ozzy. You're getting the heavy fucking shit here.
Yeah, the really cool, obscure stuff. It's just like, oh my god, this is amazing. So, if you've ever considered coming to Deathfest and you haven't done it yet, you ought to do it.
May I say this? The thing that's striking me that I'm liking so far is the laid-back approach to it so far. You know, not saying it's do what you want, but you walk in through the security, and George and I just passed a couple people in lawn chairs. You know, the foldable lawn chairs. You know, we got our large backpack here. We got our merch bag. And it's not laid back, you know?
Yeah, and they didn't really search the backpack too much. We could have brought in some pretty bad shit if we really wanted to. but
no, we're not saying this is like a, you know, endorsement to, you know, bring in all your bad shit. We're just saying that it's
not a police state.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's pretty good. You know, the weather's nice. We're getting a little bit of shade from the overpass that goes right by there, and you know, a lot of cool people. And you know, we've talked to a few people as we were talking to the Nine Circles guys. We ran into Chris from DC Heavy Metal, and you know, we've been through the merch booths. We talked to the guy at Vienna Music Exchange, and it's been a good day so far. You know, we're a few beers in and just having a good time, enjoying the weather, enjoying the music. It's not as busy yet as I thought it might be.
Oh, it would have been a little more packed than it is now. I don't know what people are waiting for.
Yeah, you know.
The day's done, though.
Yeah, you know, never can account for that. I don't know. A lot of people, they just show up for the end of the show. They don't want to be there for the whole day.
But, you know, if this is it, though, it's not fucking bad. This parking lot we're sitting in is not even half full.
Yeah, it would have been nice to park over here. But, you know, then you got to drive back. So we used Uber to get over here, which was pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
And so we can drink all the way along.
Anything you don't like so far?
No, I'm having a blast. I went to the what was the name of the pork place? Yeah, there was a pork vendor, grabbed a pulled pork sandwich, and we're wearing our Metalheads podcast shirts, and I'm wearing a hat too. So the guy who was selling me my sandwich was like, "Hey, is that your podcast?" And I was like, "Why, yes, it is. Would you like a card?" He's like, "Sure, man. I'll check it out." So, hey, if you're listening, thanks for the sandwich.
You know what's striking me so far is just you can obviously tell it's a true metal crowd. That's what's striking me the most.
For sure. I mean, practically every shirt and patch and everything
obscure.
out there is very obscure, and I've got a fucking stiffy for it. It's like, oh wow, Bathory, oh fucking what was the one that I was really digging on?
Goth, I saw a couple of shirts of them.
I just saw a Moon Sorrow shirt, and so everybody brings out their obscure shit. But we're gonna head back in here in a few minutes, and
there's a couple groups here in the parking lot hanging out. I think I may try and get in here with a couple of these groups. We may have some heavy metal parking lot here in a second.
Yeah, Blood Red Throne is up next, so I kind of want to catch them too. So I guess that's all for now. We'll be back. See ya.
See ya. This is Buke from the Metalheads podcast, and like George and I just mentioned, we're going to do a little heavy metal podcast from the parking lot here. We ran into a nice group of people here. Where are you guys from?
I'm Dutch.
You're Dutch?
American here from Baltimore.
From Baltimore. Where are you guys from?
From Holland as well.
From where?
Holland.
Holland.
From Westwood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we live in Baltimore, and he's our roommate.
Yeah. He just came from Arizona.
Man, this is great. Who'd you guys come to see?
Mainly most of my bands yesterday. Suffocation, Obituary. I wanted to see these guys, but we got here a little bit late, but still plenty of steam.
Yes. George and I got here earlier today, and we're still shocked at how the parking lot is still so open. You know?
Yesterday people were still working, so people use this as a commuter parking lot too, so that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
A lot of people walk, like the hotels are down that way, so a lot of people park there and walk.
Cool. You guys going to be here tomorrow also?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
If you come over the ocean to see a couple of bands, you might as well pick them all, don't you?
Exactly. So who you guys, the whole weekend, who you the most looking forward to seeing though?
Busy.
Oh, look at that.
I was quite bummed out. Sodom didn't show up.
Yeah, isn't that pretty fucking sucks?
I'm a huge Bloodbath and Suffocation fan.
Yeah.
I like old thrash. I like old death metal. A bit of punk. DRI. Turn around, Tom. Turn around.
Let me see what you got. Oh, DRI. Yep, that's nice.
I have one like that.
That's pretty nice.
The two of us are the West Frisian pit crew. So,
man, that's pretty nice.
With my arms.
Look at these guys.
Like a blue.
You're crazy.
Napalm Death last night was very crazy.
It was pretty crazy, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's my head.
Are you serious? Yeah, we saw Napalm Death soundstage probably back in January. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool band.
That was the most violent pit of the fest so far, I think.
Napalm Death, really?
So far, just those little tight corners, people jumping on other people, jumping on other people.
Yeah, but no one died yet.
Yeah, I think it was like a hardcore show. That's how the kids are today. When we saw them on in January, it was a completely different vibe. Everybody was just kind of like in the ground headbanging. But last night they were climbing over people like Spider-Man to jump off the stage, and I had to get. I'm like, oh, I got stepped on out of here. And they're my favorite band. And I was like right up front. I gotta go.
Cool. Well, thanks for giving us your time, guys.
Hey everybody, it's George and
this is Buke,
and it is the wee hours of the morning after the Saturday Maryland Death Festival show at the Edison lot. We figured we'd give you a recap of the day before we turn in tonight. Last we spoke, I think we were out in the parking lot,
and we stumbled upon the group of fans who I thought it would pan out to be more than it was.
Yeah, well, I just want to point out before that, Buke got totally like dissed by a group of Brazilians. He went over and was like, "Hey guys, yeah, can we talk to you about the podcast?" And they're like, "Okay." And he's like, "Can you podcast? Can we talk to you?" And they're like, "No." And the one dude was sitting in his trunk, and we were like, "Okay then,
Yeah,
see you later."
Yeah, because a lot of people, the admittance, you could come and go as you wanted, and a nice huge parking lot right adjacent to where the Deathfest was being held, but there wasn't a lot of people hanging out in the cars, surprisingly.
Yeah, like probably a lot of people like us came in, by walking or taxi or whatever.
Yeah, probably not realizing there was that lot there, but whatever. That's not why people are fucking listening to this.
Indeed.
So that failed.
Right. So, we talked to some people, and then we went back inside for Blood Red Throne, I believe it was.
Yep.
And that was a pretty crushing set, I thought. I didn't realize they had a new singer.
I didn't realize that.
He looked a little bit like a friend of ours. But they played some pretty brutal death metal, and they played it well, I thought. Buke pointed out that the one guitar player was wearing Crocs.
And the other guitar player, in his mannerisms on stage and the guitar he played.
And his hair and his beard and everything.
Dimebag.
Total dead ringer for Dimebag.
He was drinking vodka straight from the bottle.
And he was playing a Dean with the headstock that's the V.
The flying V.
Yeah, like Dimes. It's probably, in fact, and it had that.
And he was wearing a Pantera shirt.
Yes, and the guitar had the metal plating like you get on
the diamond plate.
Yeah, diamond plate. Yeah.
Whatever happened to those guys?
They changed singers, and
then we stopped caring about them.
Caring.
We were really excited about them when we heard those kids.
Yeah, they were good, but it's just like new singer, whatever.
Yeah.
Let that be a lesson to you, kids. If you have a singer and he's good, hold on to him. So, excuse me. So then, after Blood Red Throne, I think that was when you decided to walk back to the hotel to deposit all of the things that we'd accumulated so far.
Yeah.
And I stuck around and watched Volcano and Bulldozer. Both of those bands, if you're not familiar, are veteran bands from, the 80s, playing death metal. Volcano was definitely a brutal death metal, and Bulldozer was more of a heavy thrash. And the first couple songs by Volcano were not bad. I was like, right on. These guys are, got to be pushing them up, pushing some years there, and and they still rocked pretty hard. So I'll give them credit for that. But about halfway through their set, I was like, I'm tired. I'm gonna go. I found the picnic tables under the underpass, and there's a nice breeze going through there. I was like, I'm just gonna sit over here, and it's actually right next to the stage, so I couldn't see them, but I could hear it, really well. So I listened to the rest of their set. Then I walked over to the next stage to check out Bulldozer, and that was kind of interesting to look at. I've heard of Bulldozer, but I've never really listened to them all that much. And the singer was. Okay, this is an Italian band. Not that has anything to do with anything about it. It's just a descriptor.
He was throwing pasta out in the crowd as they came on stage.
No. But he was wearing a cape, and he had a gray beard and a shaved head and drawn on sideburns that went
was
up,
that drawn on?
It looked drawn on.
I thought...
Unless it was tattooed.
I thought that was his hair.
Oh, that was my thought at first, but I was like, no, that's his... That's
basically think of huge mutton chops
that go halfway up your head.
That go halfway up your head.
That when there's no other hair. I was like, that's a little weird looking. and his microphone stand was like a podium with blood on it. And so he was like...
a podium microphone, affixed to the podium.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was like some sort of like evil preacher thing, like a pulpit.
It's like a third-rate ghost.
Yeah, so that was actually my first thought. But so they started playing, and the guitar sound was really like buzzsaw, like tinny, like it was coming out of a small $50 amplifier. It was a little shrill even for me, and even though I like really trebly music, I was like, damn, that kind of hurts to listen to. But I think they worked on that, because a couple songs later I wasn't noticing it. Either that or I lost a little bit of hearing.
Probably that.
But I thought of the two, I think Bulldozer was better than Volcano. At least I preferred them. And somewhere shortly after the beginning of the Bulldozer set, Buke arrived back from the hotel, and we hooked up and had a couple more beers. And you want to jump in here and let?
No, I'm trying to think what happened when I got back. This is when you and I made our way to sit down and wait for Triptychon, correct?
Right. Yeah. After we got tired of listening to Bulldozer towards the end, because they
after a point, it just kept going on and on and on and on.
Yeah, they were good for a while, and then it was like, all right, well, we can see people lining up at the other stage for Triptychon already. Let's sort of make our way over there, because for me anyway, that was, obviously the biggest point of the day for me.
And tomorrow, that's your biggest point, yeah.
So, we wanted to at least be nearby so we could keep an eye on the stage and make sure to jump in when it looked like things were starting to get busy.
And there was a lot of people starting to gather for Triptychon, so when we made our way over there, posted up, it's about 6 o'clock then?
Yeah.
Still broad daylight, which it wasn't how we wanted to see Triptychon, but
no, I think their set would have been so much more dramatic had it been dark.
Yeah,
I mean, the music is so dark, to be played during daylight is a little weird.
Well, I don't want to take your fire, because I can't do them justice. Triptychon came on, and the smile I saw on George's face was something I had only seen a couple of times before. Yeah, that's smile right there, from ear to ear.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I've never seen Celtic Frost before, never seen Triptychon before. Huge fan, though, so I wanted to come last year to see Triptychon, and the fact that they had to cancel because of H.R. Giger's death, I mean, it was like, I'm not going then. Triptychon, I'm not wasting my money. Even though I think like Carcass was there and stuff like that. I'm sure it was still a good show, but I was just so disappointed. I was like, I'm not going.
Shall we say, George and I just realized a couple hours ago, the reason we really, living here with this in our backyard, call us whatever you want to call us, we haven't gone before because the lineup has not been that strong, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It's been obscure.
Really obscure.
Yeah.
And so I would look at the lineup and go, it's, there's probably a couple bands in there that I like, but not enough for me to want to go and spend a weekend there. And last year, though, I was like, I want to go. And, a couple of it's Memorial Day weekend. Half the time I'm not here anyway because, I'm off on vacation somewhere with my wife. So this year I made sure to buy tickets early enough.
Where the wife doesn't have a say.
I was like, oh, by the way, honey, I bought tickets for Maryland Deathfest. It's Memorial Day weekend. Okay, bye.
So Triptychon's on, and you're loving it. What did you think of them?
They come out, and I'm like, it was kind of weird to see Thomas Gabriel Fisher for the first time, dressed the way you always see him now, wearing the really nice black shirt, with a knit black cap and black eye makeup, kind of like black tears running down his face,
and the inverted cross around his neck.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow, it's like seeing a celebrity. It really is. And I mean, he is a celebrity in the metal world.
Yeah.
And
then enough with him. The bass player comes out.
Oh my God, the bass player! I knew they had a female bass player, but oh my God, she's hot.
I didn't know she was so gorgeous.
And she fucking murders that bass.
Did you see? She played so hard.
She busted a string.
She broke her string.
You gotta play hard to break a bass string.
Yes, yes.
So she was really like attacking that thing, and it's funny because when she was playing, I mean, you know, Tom Warrior, you see him playing, and he's always got a grim look on his face. And you look over at her, and her head's kind of slightly tilted down, and she's attacking that bass with like no emotion on her face, and you just see her, like her eyes. And I was like, damn, I would not want to piss her off. She looks fucking evil.
Yeah.
But then Tom would say something to her, and she'd get this cute little
smile.
Little smile, and I was like, "Oh, you're nice." So, she was very interesting to me, not just because she was hot, just in general. In the dynamic of the band, she was very interesting, and so.
What was also dynamic and interesting too is that I didn't realize he takes some songs off the harsher parts, vocal wise, unless
that the guitar player.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I don't know if that's maybe just done live.
It could be. Have to look at the liner notes and see.
Yeah,
but on the whole, it was a pretty awesome
sound.
Set.
Was perfect.
Yep.
Only song I recognized was the opening track off of their album.
Yeah, they played a couple songs from the first Triptykon album, a couple songs from the latest Triptykon album. When they played, as like third or fourth song in, they busted into Celtic Frost's Circle of the Tyrants. Up until then, I was like, okay, we were, I don't know, about 10, 15 feet from the stage. And up until that point, I had my camera out, I was taking some pictures, and then I was taking my phone out and taking some pictures. As soon as they started playing the opening notes of Circle of the Tyrants, the place fucking went batshit crazy. And it was like, all of a sudden, that like, you know when you're at the beach and you walk up to the ocean and you're like, walking into the ocean, and all of a sudden you get hit by an unexpected wave and it knocks you back? That was like the pit just erupting in this roar of humanity that just fucking...
And in that roar, a guy on crutches is crowd surfing past us.
And everybody thought that was... everybody around us was like, that's so fucking cool. That guy's got balls, man. Yeah, so you got to take some balls to crowd surf when you need crutches. So, and, you know, there were women crowd surfing and all kinds of annoying people crowd surfing. I say annoying because the point that they would put them back into the crowd would come right in front of us. And so, like, half the set, we got people running in front of us, pushing us out of the way. And it's like, fuck you. So, but anyway, so yeah, the pit just, like, took off like crazy during Circle of the Tyrants. And, I was like in the middle of trying to take a picture, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, and almost knocked off my feet. We were right on like the fringe of the pit the whole time, I think, sort of off to the right side of it, so you kind of had to keep an eye on things. And for the most part, it wasn't too bad, but every now and again you'd get that, like, you know, everybody's moving to the right now because everybody's lost their balance.
It was a solid hour set that they played.
Yeah.
And immediately when they finished, I don't know if you sensed it too, it's almost kind of like the air was let out of the rest of the night with the fans.
Yeah, well, they finished with the 20-minute long song off the first Triptykon album called The Prolonging. And it takes some balls to play a 20-minute song, first of all, live. But, you know, it was great. And when they left the stage, actually, before they left the stage, they all came up to the front of the stage. And, you know, a lot of bands will do that. They'll come up to the front and they'll, like, put their arms around each other and be like, yay! But they all came up there, and Tom comes back up to the microphone and he says, Triptykon bows to you. And they all bowed to us. And I was like, that's that's so fucking badass. You know, it's like bands will come out and like give a little bow to the crowd or whatever, but the way he said it wasn't like, you know, thank you very much. It was humble. It was like, thank you for allowing us to fucking rip your face off. And I was just like, I love him. I love him so much. So, an incredible set. And yeah, as we walked out of there, two things, like Buke said, anybody that had to follow these guys, you know, forget about it, you know. They really should have been the headliner. And the other thing was, we're walking away. I made it, you know, last year, Buke likes to bring up the fact that last year, in like February, March, whatever it was, I proclaimed the Triptychon album of the year. So as soon as we were walking away, I just nonchalantly go, Buke, I'm calling it. This was the set of the year. So that may or may not be, but it was a pretty damn good
and
set.
that was the highlight of my day, because again, I don't have the attachment to Triptychon George does, but seeing my best friend happy, that was worth it there.
Yeah. So then after that, Solstice played, and we didn't really care about them. So
we went back and browsed.
We spent their set. I finally decided that I was going to go and
time to dive in, and when George dives in, guys, as we know, he dives in to about the tune of $200 worth of vinyl.
Yeah, I went and bought all the good.
Now, mind you, stuff's on sale too. $15.
Yeah, $15 for stuff that you'd pay like $30-$40 on, like, you know, a website or eBay or something like that. So it was like, and oh my God, there was so much stuff. I mean, I think I mentioned it earlier. It's like a merchandise wet dream. I mean, every conceivable shirt and CD and vinyl, patch, everything. I'm like, wow, if only they had my size in anything. Sucks to be fat. Yeah, I could probably like lose like 15-20 pounds and get into a 2X, but well, we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, but the cool thing about the vendors is they seem excited to, of course, you know, make money.
Of course.
But, you know, all very nice setups.
Yeah. Relapse was there. I spent a mint at Relapse. Nuclear Blast.
Our friend, Vienna Record Exchange.
Vienna Music Exchange.
Music Exchange, I'm sorry.
Yep, I picked up a Candlemass Lucifer Rising vinyl off of him.
Yep.
And
Omega
was there, and Crucial Blast, which we're going to hit tomorrow because we just looked at so much vinyl.
Yeah, it was pretty cool too. It took me back to the days of the computer show.
Yeah.
At Fairgrounds. I used to go my whole life growing up, when it was just tables upon tables of one porn, which of course I don't have here, but
oddly.
Yeah, tables and tables and tables of just metal stuff.
Yeah.
Just vinyl. Boxes upon boxes. You know, we're all used to, listeners of this show, like George and I have spoke about in the past, we're used to, there's a little rack over there. It's about one box, wide. That's it.
It's got an Iron Maiden and a
Dio
Motorhead and a Dio and
Metallica,
a Slayer album, and that's it.
Yeah, here is A through Z's taking up 4 tables worth.
And so much stuff that I've never even heard of. I say something like that, and I'm not trying to come across as like braggy or like self-righteous or arrogant. Mm-hmm. But I pour over this shit every fucking day. I mean, it's like my job, except I don't get paid for it. But it's my addiction.
Now, I will say too, George did about 4 or 5 times have to take out his phone and check.
Do I have this?
Do I have this?
And every time I did.
Good thing you checked.
Getting old and forgetful.
So, yeah, that's how we spent. What's that band? Solstice?
Solstice, yeah.
Yeah.
And after.
Now, mind you, though, they have the sound cranking when you're inside the parking lot. So it's as if we are hearing them.
Yeah, I mean,
perfectly.
We were directly across from them, so other than the like tarps that they throw up on the booths, there wasn't really much blocking it. So it's not like we were missing the sound or anything. You could still have to scream over it to talk.
Yeah.
So then after that, we went back out to catch Arcturus, and
this was a weird one.
Yeah, Buke wasn't really interested in this at all to begin with, and I was like, dude, I got to go check these guys out. I mean, I've always sort of preferred the earlier, more traditional black metal before they went really avant-garde. Though lately I have been kind of digging some of the more avant-garde stuff. It's probably listening to all that Dodheim's Guard. But, and like the very first song, I was like, oh man, he's out of key or something. I was like, damn, that sucks.
But when I heard it at first, not really, because, we do have a new album, promo. When I first heard them, I thought, not knowing them, I thought, man, it's a cool little folky, folk metal sound that they have. But then he starts with the avant-garde singing, and
but by the end of the first song or end of the second song, I look back and Buke's kind of banging his head a little bit, and I was like, "You liking this?" And he's like, "This is pretty badass." And so I was like, "Right on, he's getting into it. That's cool." I was like, "I did not expect that." By the second song, it did get a little better. ICS Vortex, the singer, he looked like somebody from Duck Dynasty.
Yes.
And he had his hands in his pockets a lot.
Steampunk goggles.
Yeah.
Real weird that he...
It's like, just kind of casual. Who's that guy, the comedian that's the hillbilly? Not the redneck one, but he's like somebody the somebody. Like Joe the janitor, or somebody the garbage guy, or Billy Bob,
Oh, Larry the Cable Guy?
Larry the Cable Guy, that's it. He looked kind of like Larry the Cable Guy. I was like, huh, okay. But, they had a violin player and a keyboard player who looked, I was like, is that Don Svano? I thought it might have been.
It's just weird because my excitement... And again, this avant-garde, metal is very new to me.
Yeah.
I have taken to the Dodheim's Guard. I like it, but it's still, again, it's a work in progress. And I liked them when they first were Arcturus, right? This band we're talking about.
Arcturus, yeah.
Yeah. I liked them at first, but then as the set goes on, it's like, maybe I'm not ready for this yet.
That's the problem with some.
It was weird. The way I describe it in my head, I tell myself it's like, hey, this is like vocal prog metal. Like, they're throwing weird solo over here and weird drums over here.
Well, there was one song they did that it sounded like something off of Pink Floyd's The Wall. The way he was like, it was like when Roger Waters is like, in this like near hysterical scream. And I was like...
But he would go from like, yo, to, whoa. It's hard to...
Yeah, he would just do stuff for the sake of being weird.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, I can dig that for a song or two, but like a whole set, it wears on me a little bit.
Yeah, and the crowd just seemed to just sit there and take it. They didn't seem...
No, they seemed to like it. I mean, said I wanted to hear some Wintry Gray. I like the Aspera Heims Symphonia album. That's one of my favorite old school black metal albums.
I will say what impressed me, Hellhammer. When he fucking... That's my first time ever seeing him.
Drumming motherfucker.
When he lays into the fucking kick drum, the bass.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I bet somewhere out in the Twilight of the Gods camp, Nick Barker was going, wish I was allowed to play like that today.
Yeah, speaking of that, we've seen two amazing drummers today.
Yes, we have.
Two of the best in the genre.
And it's funny because all these people are like in different bands that are playing here, The singer for Twilight of the Gods is also playing tomorrow as the singer for Primordial. The bass player for Twilight of the Gods is also played today in Einherjar. I don't know how to say it. And you were saying the Serpentine Path guy was also in. Winter, who's playing tomorrow. So there's a lot of
It's a lot of, hey, we signed one, but we get 3 from that one band playing.
Yeah. So
and after they, go back to Arcturus. After they finished,
we went back to look at vinyl again.
Yeah, we went back to look at vinyl again
because we were missing some stuff.
Yeah, I made another purchase, and
I despite my misgivings, I bought the new Arcturus vinyl.
All right, yeah. As we were walking by, I said, "Oh, look, George."
Yeah.
He goes, "Damn it!"
All right, here's $26. Give me the damn thing. You're coming home with me.
And tonight would have been closed out by Sodom,
but the U.S. government said no. I don't think so.
Like we mentioned earlier, so Razor finished the stage, and George and I went over there to check them out for a couple of songs,
and they were all right.
Yeah, they were all right,
but not like closing out the night kind of quality.
Mm-mm.
Now
to the guy in front of me with the Razor back patch, who's losing his fucking mind.
Sure,
that was a perfect night for him.
Sure, but stand that up next to the Triptychon set, night and day, man. It was like no.
It's a tough spot to be put in too.
Totally. I mean, they were originally further down the list, so it just was sort of probably thrust upon them. There's no blaming them or anything. If anybody's at fault here, I'm sure it's the government because they didn't issue the visas that Sodom needed to come into the country and play the show. So it's fucked up. But hey, I've got a Maryland Deathfest shirt that says Sodom on the back, so I can be like, yeah, I saw Sodom. Sounded like Razor though. So
yeah, they finished. We called an Uber, back to the hotel, grabbed dinner.
I gotta admit, I don't want to be doing an ad for him or anything, but it's pretty damn cool. Buke gets on his phone and he's like, boop boop, and like a minute and a half later, there's a car.
Yes,
and
if you've never used Uber, check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. And then 10 minutes later, there we were back at the hotel, and you just hop out and go. It's like, damn, it's so easy.
Yeah, no money exchange, nothing. It's all done on the PayPal with the phone.
So, Uber when you need a ride.
So, your initial impressions. Let me start by saying the things that stood out for me today. Serpentine Path.
Serpentine Path, yeah.
Amazing fucking Doom.
I would venture to put that as my
number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah. I've made my number 2 after them. Just Doom to the point where when you want to hear hard-hitting fucking Doom that could have shaked the fucking glasses off of George's face.
Yep.
It felt like somebody was kicking you every time.
Yep. You
awesome.
Just feel the kick drum on your chest.
I love the feeling that when I am watching something and you enjoy it that much, as soon as they finish, I went out and bought the vinyl. Yep. That's why I love music. I love moments like that. And then, so you have something you want to say?
I was just going to say that my number 4, to backpedal a little bit, would have been Blood Red Throne. Because that was just it was just a nice, punishing, intense set.
It was.
And then 3 would be Serpentine Path.
Yeah, my number 2, Twilight.
Mine as well. Twilight of the Gods.
Yeah, Twilight of the Gods. 2. It was like an early tease for Primordial.
Exactly. Exactly. And of course, number 1, Triptychon.
Yeah, I can agree there.
You heard it here. We agreed.
Just a solid set. I am, nowhere near the fan George is, but I cannot lie and say that it wasn't a solid set. George, your impressions on the first day with the setup that they have here and everything?
It was pretty good. Much like the M3 festival that I went to a couple of weeks ago, they had 2 stages. And they would just, one finishes and another one starts up almost immediately. So, and in this case, the stages were sort of like perpendicular to each other. It was like
one's at 12 o'clock, one's at 3 o'clock.
Right. Yeah. You look forward, and the other stage is to your
3 o'clock.
Yeah, or
you're right.
You're 9 o'clock technically. I was looking at the main stage and thinking to the
Okay.
left, but which would be 9 o'clock. But so it was, it was easy to get back and forth. Unlike the M3 festival where you had to climb a fucking hill to get to the next thing that was like over the hill and into the woods.
Yeah.
Couldn't see this one stage from the other.
And there's I'm saying all this because if you're thinking about coming next year, there's plenty of space in the lot. In fact, George and I passed people sitting in fold-out lawn chairs.
Yep.
There, you can bring in any stuff. You just can't bring, weapons, food, drinks in. There's plenty of food trucks here.
Yeah, I had
even
some
vegan
food.
options. I had lamb tacos.
Yeah,
today.
Got a pulled pork. It was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And hey, if you're the I already said that, didn't I? If you're the pulled pork guy that I gave the card to, hope you're checking this out and enjoying it. Thanks for giving me $1 off my drink when I came back.
And we're gonna go check it out again tomorrow. The vendors are awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of people buying CDs.
Surprising.
Yes.
There were a lot of CDs there.
A lot of seeing people were buying them.
It's fun. I wonder how much they were.
CDs, I didn't even look.
Because if they were cheap, I might go and, look for the ones that I want FLAC files. So, like, if it's cheaper.
They do the same fucking thing.
But I bet they're not. I bet they're still like $10 a CD.
What if they're $1?
If they're $1, I'll fucking load up, man. But I don't think
Buke, go for a walk.
Yes, Mule, come here. Buke was a hell of a guy today, and was I loaded him down with. I mean, how many vinyls did we pick up today between the two of us? Mostly me.
25
vinyls.
Yeah,
and he's Relapse gave us a nice tote bag, and he's just hauling these around for the last 2 hours of the day so that I don't have to in my old decrepitness.
Yep, I'm just trying.
Mostly because he doesn't want to listen to me bitch about it.
You know me well. Yeah, I've been trying to make this weekend smooth sailing for George.
My bones are old, and what is that from? I can't. It's like Monty Python or something. But
I was impressed. Yeah, the staff has been friendly. Everybody at all the different vendors. Was great today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, though, I will admit, today my excitement, wasn't super high because a lot of these bands I just don't know.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, George, is the fucking day we've been waiting for.
Yeah. Well,
I know you saw your trip. You saw your Triptychon.
Yep. That's funny. We're each seeing our number one from last year.
I just saw it. We are.
Yeah. Interesting. And my number 2. Who was my number 3? Machine Head, right? So they're not here. Anyway, yeah. Well, in the morning we'll get up and we'll talk about tomorrow's lineup. So, unless you have anything else, I think we will wrap it up for the day. Well, technically it's 2:30 in the morning, so we'll wrap it up for this morning.
It's gone better than I thought it would. The weather was perfect today.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 10 degrees hotter tomorrow. Can't wait for that. He said sarcastically.
Yeah, but it's been a fun day, but it's my only negative I have to say is the music is so loud, and there is not a break between bands.
It's just a constant barrage all day.
And it's hard to have a conversation with other people.
It is.
Because that wall of noise is just...
Yeah, it would have been nicer to be able to have more conversations with people at the show.
Yeah, believe me, I've been trying the whole time.
But there's just no breaks to do so, and you have to literally leave the venue and go out across the street and into the parking lot over there to get far enough away to talk. So, yeah, it just wasn't as convenient as we had hoped. But tomorrow, I think before we head out, we'll probably do a preview of what's to come, and then
the guys want to meet us again in the parking lot before.
Nine Circles guys will meet up with them and have pre-brews. So, all right.
So that's it. So I'm out of here. We're out of here.
Yep.
See you tomorrow in the morning. Bye.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunday Maryland Deathfest show at the Edison lot.
Well, welcome back to our continuing Deathfest coverage
on MNN, the Metal News Network.
We have transitioned now. We left the hotel. The nice thing about Deathfest is you can come and go as you want, like we mentioned on earlier episodes. So we are
Parked here.
Yeah, parked here now.
Yeah, so we can come out, we can put in more vinyl into the car so that it can bake in the heat. Or if we're baking in the heat, we can come and turn on the AC and keep the vinyl cool. Like I said, we can
cool off ourselves.
Cool off, sit down in a padded chair as opposed to a picnic bench. But yeah, so here we are.
Yeah, can I just say something first off? By seeing these security guards walking in, did you see one of them yesterday start crowd surfing?
Yes, I thought that was hilarious. I was going to say something about that and I forgot.
They're moshing, they're crowd surfing, they're fucking...
I thought maybe he was like pissed off going after somebody. He's like, I'm getting on top of the crowd and I'm gonna get you, fucker. But no, it looked like it pretty much looked like he was crowd surfing. That's funny. You know, it's kind of laid back. And
yeah, chill, exactly.
So yeah, here we are, and we're waiting around. Doesn't look like the Nine Circles guys are here yet, but guess we'll hook up with them when they get here. And can
I say that there are some attractive females here this weekend? If you're listening to this and you're one of the attractive metal girls here this weekend, great job. You're looking good.
Yeah, ooh, that one right there bending over. Nice. Okay, then.
Okay.
So, yeah, so what do we got today? Okay, so the first band going on that we're probably going to skip is Pro Sanctus Inferi. And,
I don't know these guys.
Well, they're not on till 12:45, so we still got another hour. But I picked up a couple of their albums. I listened to them, and I was like, meh. He's all right. It's just like extreme, brutal, technical death metal-ish. Technical death metal makes me think more like Alkaloid or something. Not like that, but just like really loud, noisy stuff that didn't really interest me all that much. But you know, if they sound cool, might check it out. But of course, after that,
this is probably the band I'm second most excited for the whole weekend.
Yeah, me
because
too.
This is Tombs. George, you know, was instantly raving about these guys when he heard them last year. I, of course, didn't listen to them right at first. I trusted him like I always do, and I bought the vinyl, you know, purchase unheard. And they became one of my favorite albums last year. We're now one of my favorite bands.
Yep, that was my number 2 album last year.
And we were talking to the Nine Circles guys. They said they saw a show of them up in Brooklyn, was it?
Yeah.
They said they fucking tore it up. They were amazing. So
it's really kind of a bummer that they're so early in the day. I mean, they're playing a 40-minute set, but
do you think a lot of people here know of them?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, as good as they are, you would think so. And you know, the few people that I've talked to are all like, "Oh yeah, Tombs," you know. So, but I don't know. I mean, given the way yesterday was, I expect it's going to be pretty dead when they play, because
probably
it didn't really pick up yesterday.
Till like 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, it was like when Bulldozer came on was when it really started filling up, like somewhere between Volcano and Bulldozer.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like 4 or 5 o'clock. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe people.
But again, if you haven't heard Savage Gold from last year, pick that fucking album up.
Yeah, or even before that, The Path of Totality was really great, and before that, The Winter Hours. So, good stuff. Check them out. Up after Tombs, we have Massacre with 1 S.
South American
Probably.
Yeah, I looked up on Spotify. South American, just brutal death metal band.
So more like Volcano kind of stuff. Yeah.
Not my.
Right.
If Jay was here, not Jay. If Will was here, he'd probably be losing his mind over them.
Probably. I think it's the other massacre that he likes. The 2S massacre.
Where Will probably like, no, I don't.
Well, no, I know he likes them.
Okay.
I know he likes them. We've talked about that. I like Massacre with 2 S's as well. So unless this is a typo, and I know it's not because the Massacre with 2 S's broke up again, this is a different Massacre.
But guess what? They're back now.
Yeah, but they'll be breaking up again in about 5 minutes. So, all right. After Massacre, Goat Snake. I'm on the fence about these guys. They're another
stoner sludge type of thing.
Yeah, and they're just putting out their first album in like, I don't know, 15 years or something like that. And I listened to some of the older stuff. I think I even got a promo for the new album, and I'm on the fence. It's like the style is pretty cool, but the music specific, son of a bitch.
That's you.
Fucking allergies, man. But the music specifically, it just didn't really grab me. It was like the style was cool, but the music was all right. So we'll see. Could be interesting. After that, there's a little band you might have heard of, Buke. They're called Primordial. You ever heard of these guys?
Yes, I have. My album of the year last year, Where Greater Men Have Fallen. Again, another early time for these guys. If you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, this is even earlier than Triptychon was yesterday. It's almost insulting. I mean...
And these guys have a long history.
Yeah, I would have put them later than Winter and later than Skepticism, at the very least. Demolich, hard to say. I mean, the band only ever put out one album. So while they may be considered legendary, they only put out one album. I would put Primordial above them as well.
So that's my highlight. That's what I've been looking to the most this whole weekend.
Yeah, my top three there would have been, the last three headliners would have been Primordial, Neurosis, and Amorphous. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So after Primordial, we have Winter, another one of these classic, like, doom death bands from the 90s, I think it was. Maybe late 80s, but I think it was like early 90s. I'm curious to see what they're going to sound like. I've listened to, was it In Darkness, I think it's called? Or Into Darkness, something like that. Compared to what's out now, it's not all that spectacular, but I think it was probably pretty decent for the time when it came out. So we'll see what they sound like now.
As we were talking at breakfast, we mentioned last night, this is made up of members of Serpentine Path are in it. So, is this a band you said I may like if I liked them yesterday?
No, that would be...
Okay, I'm sorry.
That would be, let's see. Well, fuck me.
That would be his technical difficulties.
No, that would be a band coming later. We'll get to them. After Winter, we have an Alnathrock. And I'm very curious what this is going to be like.
I bet it's going to be... We thought Blood Red Throne yesterday was heavy.
I'm certain it's going to be heavy. I'm just curious, is it going to be just two guys and they have like a lot of programming going on? Or are they going to be, what do they do live? Do they fill out the band with, road musicians? I don't know. One thing I know for sure is it's probably going to be loud as fuck out here because their
album is.
Yeah.
Their albums are.
And so I am looking forward to seeing them because that should be interesting at the very least and awesome at the outside best. Then, after that, is Skepticism, one of the forefathers of the funeral doom subgenre. And that's the one I was saying that if you were really digging Serpentine Path yesterday, you might really get into this, because this is probably going to be just fucking chest-crushing, fucking heavy music. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing those guys. And after Skepticism, is Demolich. They're playing 55 minutes, so I assume they're playing their one album. They're probably just going to play the whole album. Don't really know what to expect with that. After that, fucking Neurosis. That's going to be badass. I would really have to think. You want to see these guys?
I do. They have such a huge catalog, and I'm a little late to the party on them that I didn't know really where to start. So I don't know what type of set they'll play, because they have a lot to pick from.
Yeah.
But I'm excited because I know there a lot of these people. When they list bands of a certain genre you need to listen to, I always see their name come up. So
yeah, definitely.
So that'll be interesting to see there. I'm not super excited, but I know that they're good. So
yep. And then finally, closing out the night, making sure that we can't leave early, is Amorphous, who will be playing the entirety of the Tales from the Thousand Lakes album.
Yep.
Which, if you were here, you were able to purchase one of the limited edition
100 copy
reissues from Relapse of Tales from the Thousand Lakes. We both picked up a copy. We're good consumers.
I'm really looking forward to that. I went back and listened to that album again.
Mm-hmm.
It's an awesome album.
It is.
I really have gotten into their later stuff. Their Skyforger album. I know their styles changed a little bit over the years. They're not the real heavy sound that they had when they first came out. I like them a lot.
I really like the Circles, the last one that came out, and the one before that, Beginning and...
Yeah, the Beginning of End Times, is that it?
Something like that,
yeah.
Yeah, those are really good.
Yeah, their last three albums I've liked.
Yeah. Well, they had sort of a middle period. It's like they started off with Tales of the Thousand Lakes, kind of death metal style, and then they started getting cleaner, and they started doing clean vocals, and then they really only did clean vocals for a couple albums, and I just didn't really get into that stuff, so I stopped listening to them.
You think this is their first time here in the States?
No, I don't think so.
Someone's like, no, it's their seventh.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I've never seen them before, but I feel like they had to have been here before. I mean, I think one of the guys in Ninth Circles was saying that, I think it was him. Somebody said that they tried to see him like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, or something like that. So
I can't wait to see the singer's dreads also. He has like the dreads, like the 4 foot long dreads.
Yeah, I hate those. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Guess I'll drink a beer.
Yep. Is that Thunder right here, or is that a band warming up?
I think they're probably sound checking.
Yep.
So, yep. All right, well, that's it.
Look, I'll give you guys a little taste of sound check. You can't hear anything. Of course, it fucking stops now.
Yeah, but you can see the lights going.
And I bought a new car. So George and I came to Deathfest in a Toyota Prius.
The most metal of Prius.
Yes. So we're sitting here in my fucking Prius now.
Just being badasses.
Yeah, that's why nobody's parking next to us.
That's right, man. We're metal and we're saving the planet. Bitches.
Who was that band that was always for the planet? The Biohazard?
Not really.
No.
Oh, God. Earth Crisis.
Earth Crisis. That's it. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Nah, fuck the planet. Planet's just fine. It's the humans that are fucked up. The planet will recover. People won't.
Okay, well, we'll check in later. Since we have the car here now, George and I will be out here to sit in the car and talk later.
Yep.
We'll probably give you a mid-show update.
Right on.
See ya.
See ya.
Okay, this is Buke and George. Hello. George is drinking a fucking beer. We're made back up with our friends again from the Nine Circles podcast.
And we're here drinking some more beer in the parking lot. I always fucking put the mic too close. I get excited, like a little schoolboy. What's going on today, boys?
Nothing. This is our most anticipated day of the festival. Sunday, day 4.
Day 4. It's been a long time coming, and we're just getting drunk and getting ready to watch some metal.
Getting ready to watch some Tombs. It's about to fucking come on after whoever's on right now.
Pro Sanctus and Fury.
I called them Infurious Pro Sancti.
And that wasn't quite right.
I messed them up, but I don't know who they are anyways.
Yeah, but again, we mentioned and we talked yesterday, Tombs is about to come on. George and I just said easily one of the best albums of last year.
Absolutely.
Savage Gold.
Yeah, one of the best bands here in the whole.
They rounded out my top 10 last year.
Yeah.
They were number 10 on my list.
They were number 10?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I can rally them off. There were some good ones.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my top 10 last year, I'm not going to remember all of them, but Solstafir was in there, Allegiant, Behemoth,
Panopticon.
Stranger was one of the most ridiculously amazing albums.
I got to ask you about Solstafir.
Yeah.
Great album. I'm not denying that, but it's in no way a metal album.
It's post-metal. I love Solstafir, and I like them for what they do. I don't look at them the same way I see black metal or any other subgenre. I just say this is a Solstafir album. And once you separate how you listen to it from everything else, and you don't categorize it, then you really appreciate the listen.
Right. Like I said, I think it's a great album, but I'm not sure it belongs on a top 10 metal list. You know, is it an awesome album? Fuck yeah, it's an awesome album. But is it a metal album?
I give it some track back to their past, because they were a very black metal Icelandic band in their early days.
Sure.
And that is their root, that's their history. You still get some of their influences at times, so I still kind of categorize them in metal because of their entire career, even if maybe the most recent effort was far more post-metal than they've done before.
I look at the same thing with one of my favorite overall albums last year was Alcest, Shelter.
Sure. That's another one.
Guys that started off as black gaze, and they're pretty much shoegaze. Like, there's nothing metal about them. I did not include them in my metal list.
It's like an Anathema. Take your pick. There's a million bands like
exactly.
it.
Well, last year, this guy's favorite band is Opeth, but we left it off because that's not a fucking metal. It's a prog rock album.
Yeah.
Great prog rock album.
I will say about that album, Cusp of Eternity, the lead single.
One of the best songs come out last year.
Yeah. We did a top 10 for Opeth on our blog. And I
get these guys on. You did a top 10 Opeth?
I did a top 10.
What's your favorite Opeth album?
Shit.
Sorry.
For me, I don't think it's their best, but for me,
we're gonna agree on this one. I can tell.
Nostalgia purposes, this was my first heavy Opeth album that I got into. Ghost Rivers.
Yep.
Same for me.
Absolutely.
That was my number one too.
Absolutely. I knew we were gonna agree on that one.
That was my number one too.
Blackwater Park and Still Life are great, but Ghost Rivers, I have the nostalgia.
Start to finish. Fucking amazing start to finish.
We saw them when they did the Heritage Hunter tour with Mastodon.
Yes.
And they did the entire set was like all the mellow, like melodic shit. Yeah. And then when they busted into Ghost of Perdition, not Ghost of Perdition, what was it? Grand Conjuration. Grand Conjuration. Monster show.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then they closed with
George and I saw them on tour with Catatonia. There was the last show on tour. They did a quick bloodbath set. Yeah,
that's incredible.
And it's fucked up because we interviewed Michael before the show, which is like it's on our YouTube. It's the most fucked up interview ever because
he's in the corner and he's
it looks like an interrogation. It's slightly out of focus because they stuck us in like the hallway that goes between the stage and in the back area, and there's people walking back and forth, and so I kind of had to back him into a corner with the camera, and like I said, it was out of focus because I didn't have a chance to really play with the settings any.
Yeah.
And we asked him, we're like, so you're going to be doing anything with Bloodbath anymore, or any more harsh vocals ever again? And he was coy.
Yeah. I just saw them this past January, or maybe it was December, when they were on tour with In Flames. And the first 2 tracks, as expected, were right off the new album, Cusp of Eternity. But right after Cusp of Eternity,
they didn't come around our area here.
Well, I've been lucky. I've seen them a couple times, but
I've seen them 14 times. I'll say that again.
Well, that's more than a couple. So good for you. Good for you. But right after Cusp of Eternity, they broke immediately into Deliverance. Right off the bat.
Really?
Track number 3 in the set. Oh. It was a great show, a great set list. They did an incredible job, and Michael's still got some death metal in his core, and it's going to come out.
Despite what he says.
Yeah, it's going to come back out.
And shall we say, you already started George and I off excited today. When we saw your shirt, Look at this. The fucking.
This is a
Vulcan.
This is a Vulcan Ultra Mors.
Yes.
One of the best funeral doom metal albums ever.
Yes.
Shout out.
Okay, so getting back to today, Tombs is about to fucking go on. Who else you guys excited for?
Number one, Amorphous.
Amorphous, Primordial, Anonathrok, Winter,
Neurosis.
So do you know if an Alnathrok have like guys that come out with them, or do they just play the two of them?
I don't know.
That's a great
I've
question.
never seen
That's
them
a
before.
great question.
Truth be told, I hadn't really even listened to them before Desideratum came out last year.
Before that, Manitas is fucking
You listen to that album?
I listened to it since, but I wasn't. I've only been familiar with them for about 6 months now.
Okay.
They'll have people. They'll have people.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Primordial is probably my highlight of the day. Maybe two.
Well, fuck. After Alan yesterday, after Twilight of the Gods,
because that was my favorite album of last year.
Dude, it was in my top three.
It was just a perfect start to finish, just a perfect heavy metal album. Just not super heavy in parts, but
you can't. The thing I love about Primordial is you can't really classify them, right? Because like they had
black metal, but it's in such a unique way, from the vocals down to the pace.
But
everything else.
Alan, you can tell like he's very clearly influenced by like the classic vocalists, like the more melodic. Like I hear shades of Dio. I hear like
I was hearing in shades of Dio say like a little Matt Barlow.
Yeah. I can hear that. Yeah. I took a quick like Instagram video yesterday of like wanting to just because I was like, I have to capture this. This dude is like otherworldly. It was fantastic.
You may lose me if Primordial opens how when Greymen have fallen.
Oh yes.
If they open with that track, if they open with that
same for me.
I will disappear.
So will I.
will disappear, and I will have exploded into a million pieces of amazing.
That was one of the best songs. One of the best songs I've heard in the longest time.
Yeah.
The lyrics, everything in that song.
Everything
is epic. And I don't know why they're not getting behind that song more.
I don't know.
You see them why they're playing at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, they need to be one of those bands.
They're one of those bands. Like I think of last year, like Uncle Acid. They set them up when it was still like pretty light out, and I was just like, no, this is a band that likes to play in darkness. Right. Like set them up a little bit later on. And Uncle Acid kills it. They could have easily carried like a 8:30, 9 o'clock set.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But obviously they had some bigger names to attend to. So
what you guys think of that?
So much cooler if it was dark. I mean, the music is so dark.
Well, that's the thing, though. It seems weird. Even Serpentine Path, it seems weird seeing these doom metal, slow, sludgy, penetrating riffs. And then it's like 80 and sunny, and you're like, oh, this is so nice, but my heart hurts,
Welcome to just about any band that plays the 70,000 tons of metal cruise. Though. As much as we want to go to that, and as much as like this will happen in the next couple years, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the Metal Sucks guys go on that, and we were listening to their coverage and going, man, we got to go to that thing.
Yeah, we're planning on it.
I have never met Chuck or Cutlass, but like we tweet with them all the time. They seem like fun dudes.
Yeah, they do seem like fun dudes, except when they kind of mess with George a little bit.
Pirate metal rules.
Hailstorm for days.
We did it because we were doing our top 20 albums on our podcast, but they came on for our year-end episode, and so we're like, well, what else can we do? Let's do top 10 songs of the year.
That's good, yeah.
Which is, for me at least, was very different because I based it on whether it was catchy in my head, something that gets stuck in my head, which is a completely more commercial beast than my albums.
Yeah.
And my number one song for last year was Hailstorm Drink.
I love that song. I go back to it all the time in these situations.
I don't think that's in my head all the fucking time.
We are here to drink your beer, seal your rum at the point of a gun.
The alcohol to us will fall. We are here to drink your beer.
See, if I had to do a top 10, I have another one from that album. I love the cover of Hangover by Teo Cruz. Like, I don't like Teo Cruz at all. I think the original song sucks, but they make it so much fun. Like that whole the whole tone of that is just so upbeat. Like, yeah, I absolutely love it.
So they gave me a lot of shit about pirate metal.
So what, dude? It's fun. It's
like for the next couple of days. It's like, oh, pirate metal. Like we were sitting like parrots back and forth on the pirate's shoulder and stuff like that.
He didn't like Triptychon either, so whatever.
No genre or no subgenre inspires more fun than pirate metal. It's that simple. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get really super drunk and party to fucking Triptychon or black metal or something. It's not going to work that way.
Sitting in the corner by myself weeping.
Candles are lit, incense is burning, I'm just sitting there like, leave me alone!
Okay, well, we're going to sit here, gentlemen. Truly, a friendship was made this weekend with you guys.
Right. Pleasure to meet you, gents.
We'll be, obviously, I can say as maybe speaking for you guys too, potting with you guys in the future.
Yeah,
you guys are fucking welcome on with us anytime. You guys are awesome.
It's been a blast.
Glad to make some friends too with you guys.
Right on.
And we'll see you guys later.
That's what it's all about, right?
Yep, that's what it's all about.
There we go.
See ya.
Right.
Cheers, guys.
All right, so here we are at the end of the day on Sunday. Sorry we didn't get to do any midday recordings, but today was one crazy day.
Yeah.
It was fucking hot as hell. There were a lot of good bands, and essentially we were just fucking wiped out. So any extra time we had, we fucking got food, drink,
grab a nap,
sit down, find some shade, whatever. So we'll just give you one play-by-play for the whole day now. Let's see. So the first band that played today was the Pro Sanctus Inferi, I believe it was.
Yep.
And we didn't watch them.
No, we didn't watch them. We caught up with the Nine Circle guys and started drinking beer with them. And we recorded some material with them. Which hopefully turned out well, so hopefully you guys are hearing that, or have already heard that.
Yep. So then we all made our way inside and got up front for Tombs.
Yes.
And not unexpectedly, they fucking kicked ass.
Oh yeah, they started out right with the first track from their new album, right at the start, and from then on it was on.
And we made the curious discovery that the Tombs singer-guitar player looks rather like our own Jay Dickinson, except a little chunkier.
Just a little chunkier or beefier.
Yeah, so I nicknamed him Chunky Jay.
That was a great set they put on.
Oh, it was amazing.
Played a couple songs from the new album, song from older albums.
It was definitely one of my favorite sets of the day.
Yeah, we got right up on the fence for that.
Yep.
Great way to start the day.
And then after that, we go back outside again for a while because we didn't care about. I don't have the band list in front of me now.
Massacre, was that it?
Massacre and somebody else. Well, we didn't. Whoever they were, we didn't watch them, so it didn't matter. Fuck! I wish I could remember who it was. Why don't you keep talking for a little while, and I'll see if I can pull up the list.
No, but we went outside. We had some more brews. I think that's when we did interview the Nine Circle guys at that time.
Yeah.
Just shot the shit with them. They're an excellent group of guys. They had a couple more friends show up to join us. And from there, I think we went back in, and then it was getting ready for Primordial time, if I'm correct. I think that was the next band that we saw.
Yep, give me 1 second here. I'll have that schedule up.
No, I think Primordial was the next band because...
it was So, yeah, after Tombs was Massacre, of course. Massacre with 1 S. Don't get excited. And then Goat Snake was the other band.
Yes, we heard them from the parking lot.
Yeah, we did... Yeah, we heard them from the parking lot. I think we probably caught the tail end of them as we were coming in for Primordial. And Primordial, would you believe it? They actually completely sucked. We couldn't believe it.
No, they were amazing.
They were amazing.
They were amazing. They opened up where Greater Men Have Fallen.
And let me just say, leading up to it, Buke was like fucking Rain Man. He's like, they better play Where Greater Men Have Fallen. They better play Where Greater Men Have Fallen. I really hope they play Where Greater Men Have Fallen. And so I was so happy that they opened with it, so we wouldn't have to worry about it the whole set.
Because I've been disappointed as of late with my songs not being played.
Yeah.
Like at the King Diamond show.
And of course, yesterday we saw Alan singing for Twilight of the Gods. today, of course, he had on his primordial garb.
Yeah.
So he had his hood and the makeup and stuff
makeup on stuff.
And it was...
They sounded amazing, too.
I was going to call this my favorite set of the day, but now I'm calling it a tie for my favorite set of the day.
Oh, okay. It was my favorite set of the day.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and then we rounded up. You know, we stayed there the whole time, just fucking loving it. They played Babel's Tower, Coffin Ships. They played all their hits.
Yeah, all the greatest hits from Primordial. After Primordial, we were starting to really feel it. After that, we were pretty beat, and it was only like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, for closer to 5, I guess. That's when winter came on, and we didn't go over to the stage to watch them, but we sat nearby and we could hear them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
call us pussies, but it's 80 degrees, 85 degrees, and we're standing on a blacktop parking lot.
Just blaring sun, yeah.
Just baking you.
Yeah, it was, anytime you're in the direct sun, it was just fucking horrible. So yeah, we heard winter, but we didn't really look at them too much. I sort of leaned over around the little building we were by.
Yeah, like, oh, they.
It's like, oh, there's winter. Okay, all right. Well, moving on. So then we were already set up for the next band, Anal Nathrak. And these guys were pretty badass.
Yeah, we answered your question. They played a full piece band.
Yep. The core of the band in terms of studio recording and such is just 2 guys. So we were like, are they going to do like a 2-piece thing and use like, recordings and triggers and things like that? And the answer is no. They had a full band, and they were pretty crushing.
Yeah, heavy. Fucking heavy.
Fucking heavy.
What you hear on the CDs, the album, is what you heard live today. Brutal.
Yeah.
Crowd was going nuts for them. Interesting enough, they when we had seen a bunch of heavier bands before them, you think it can't get any heavier, they shatter those walls.
Yeah, that was it was pretty damn heavy. So then after that, actually, towards the end of the winter set, sorry, not end of the Anal Nathrak set, Buke was he was beat. He was gone, and he had to go out to the car and just like chill for a bit. So I stuck around for the end of Anal Nathrak and the beginning of the next band, Skepticism. And I don't know if you were coming in already, but I was texting him going, dude, you need to get the fuck in.
Yeah, as soon as you texted me, I was like, oh, okay, I'm coming in.
This is my band that tied for first for my favorite set of the day. It was Skepticism.
Oh, okay.
And I think I sort of stand alone on this one, even though people, like some of the Nine Circles guys were like, it didn't really do anything for me. But, my point being, Skepticism is one of the pioneers of funeral doom. And if you're not a fan of funeral doom, you're just not going to get it,
Yeah, looking around, people look bored.
Yeah, but people were clapping. And now, what made this set so great for me was that it wasn't just another concert set. It was almost like performance art. Now, I've never seen the band before. I don't know if this is what they always do. If they do, it's a pretty genius move. But, okay, it's Funeral Doom. They were all dressed up in, fancy clothes.
Tuxes.
And I was like, what's that all about? And I finally was like, they're dressed for a funeral.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so fucking badass. And they're heavy as shit. They're a funeral doom band, but they don't have a bass player. He's a keyboard player, I guess, but he was basically an organ player. And so there's a guitar player, an organ player, a drummer, and a singer. And first of all, the music was just hauntingly beautiful. And then the vocals would just be like,
yeah, the whole time.
And
Great job, though.
Shouldn't have done that. And the singer, like you said, he was like in a tux or something, and the white bow tie was like untied. He looked like disheveled, like something had happened. And what really made it for me was the singer. In Funeral Doom, there's a lot of music where there's no singing. And he could go off stage or just stand there or do whatever. But what he could do, the emotion that he could give just standing there, was like a slap in the face. It was like, holy shit. It was just incredible what he could communicate by gestures and facial expressions alone. You know, he looked like...
He looked very somber.
Forlorn.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
He looked like, and like with the smoke drifting up across the stage.
Smoke was hanging. Do you notice the smoke was really hanging?
Yeah.
A little heavy for them.
And it was like he had just lost his love.
Yeah.
Or he had just gotten in a car accident and his somebody that he loved lay dead at his feet. And he was just, and it wasn't like melodramatic. It was just very somber and just like forlorn.
The crowd wasn't even cheering. The crowd was kind of feeding into it too.
It was like heartbreaking. I was like, wow, that is truly the spirit of Funeral Doom right there.
Again, this is in broad daylight.
Yeah,
that we're feeling this way. Imagine a dark venue.
Yeah. He was simply phenomenal. And
had you listened to other? I know you've known of them.
I've got a couple other albums, but you know, on in your headphones or whatever, it's just another Funeral Doom album.
Yep.
But to see this performed live, the way that they do it, I felt it was something truly different and very special. And I mean, everybody was clapping, and I think maybe people who didn't know them didn't know what was going on, but they felt something, I think.
Do you think this was the right venue for them on the bill?
I don't see why not.
Okay, I'm just saying, surrounded by all these other extreme bands. They're not, light by any means of it.
I mean, Twilight of the Gods isn't death metal either.
I just didn't know if you thought that they, would have been better off.
I like a little diversity in the sets.
So do I.
It's Maryland Deathfest, but it's nice to have some other styles in there to mix things up. So I thought that was just a truly phenomenal set. But by the end of this, just completely sapped us. So while I kind of wanted to check out Demilich, I'm not exactly sure how that's pronounced. This is at the point where we were like, fuck this, we have to.
And we have been drinking beers all day.
Yeah, it's always good to do that in the heat, because
without water,
you don't get dehydrated or anything. So we went out to the car and crashed hard.
Yeah.
I actually have some video of Buke snoring. And so yeah, we crashed for most of their set.
But talking to I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Dan?
The one, to Vakin.
Oh, you mean Corey?
Yeah, Corey. I'm sorry. Corey said that going to Vakin and stuff, it's common for people to go back to their campsite, to their tent, in between a band they really don't want to see, grab a quick nap, and then hey, you're right back in it again.
Yeah, it's common. We're not pussies.
Come on, I'm trying to.
Yeah. So we caught that. We went in before the band had finished, because Neurosis was coming up next, so we wanted to be prepared for that. And we caught the tail end of them, and it actually sounded pretty good. I'm not a real big fan of their one album that they put out back in the early 90s. I know it's a classic, but the recording quality, the vocal quality just didn't really do anything for me. But they played well, I thought, from what I heard. I thought they sounded really good, so right on. But then, of course, Neurosis.
Yes.
Not unexpectedly again.
No.
They were pretty badass.
Yeah. Heavier than the recordings I've heard.
Yeah.
Of them.
Yeah, definitely sludgy, heavy.
Oh, really sludgy. Yep.
And but again, like halfway through the set, we had to go sit down. Our legs were giving out. And
this is really making us sound like a bunch of pussies.
We are just a bunch of pussies. But I mean, you know, we were still within, you know,
we're,
I don't know, 30, 40 yards of the band. So we, you know, we still listened. And actually towards the end of that set, I looked up and I was like, "Hey, Buke, isn't that Nick Barker walking by?" And he's like, "Oh, wait, what?" And so he fucking jumps up and runs off after him, and I'm like, "All right, here we go.
There we go again.
Here we go, Mr. Social Butterfly on the prowl." So I drag my broken ass.
Yeah, I'm like, "Come on!"
After him, and he's already engaged Nick in conversation, and so I catch up and jump in, and you know, we shake hands and we all take pictures together, and it was cool. Nick was a
very nice guy.
Very nice guy. Very happy to talk to us, and very humble. You know, we were heaping praises on him as to what a great drummer he is, and he was very, you know, just like, oh no, you know.
Yeah, I asked him what he's doing now or other projects or something. He said he's kind of taking a step back and working more in the background in the promotions, working with bookings and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, in case you're a Nick Barker fan, aside from Twilight of the Gods, that's what he's working on now.
Yep. So then we finally get to the headliners of the day, the last band at the Edison lot, Amorphous.
Yes.
And they came out and they were going to be playing the entirety of Tales from the Thousand Lakes. And I cannot guess that anybody left there disappointed in that.
No.
There were a few complaints about the sound quality.
I will agree.
But I don't think any metal show is going to leave everybody. You know, you're not going to find anybody that doesn't have any complaints about the sound.
The mix was just bad.
Yeah. But they certainly put on a great show.
Yeah, they came out though. You know, when bands play the whole albums, I don't mind. I know they're a little pressed for time. Yeah. If they would have come out and maybe played some other songs first and then roll into it, cool.
Yeah.
But I know time here is an issue.
Yeah, time is at a premium. Especially when they're, you know, jumping right from band to band to band. But granted, they were the headliner, so, you know. And I assume there's a curfew, so they wouldn't be able to go over that. We decided to get a jump on everybody trying to squeeze through the exit at once. So during the last song, we started walking. And, watch out there, buddy. And as we're walking by, I saw somebody that I knew. Somebody from a local band that I'd met a few months back, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Buke, I got to chase him." I started chasing the dude down.
George actually starts running after this guy, and as he starts, like, you know, as George is literally starting to hustle, I see the members of Triptychon.
3 members of Triptychon, the guitar player, the bass player, and the drummer, are stopped talking to some people, and he's like, George. I'm like, dude, I gotta get.
Yeah, George's like, Buke, I have to go.
And you know,
I wanted to say, you know, I mean, it's no disrespect, but fuck him.
Yeah,
George, here's your Triptychon right here.
And I finally understood what he was talking about, so I was like, look to the guy I know, look to Triptychon. I'm like, not even a choice there. So I ran over and joined Buke, and you know, I immediately started gushing to the guitar player, just like, you know, we have a podcast, and your album was my #1 choice for last year. And he's all like, oh, thank you. And, you know, also very humble.
Yes.
And
I can't take my eyes off of the bass player.
The bass player is
gorgeous,
quite stunning. And so then again, you know, we both took pictures with the 3 of them.
Yeah, I mentioned, hey, sorry, you know, you were really playing heavy. You broke your bass string. She goes, you know, very nice and innocent. She says simply, it happens.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah. I was hoping to try and get her on the podcast. I think I mentioned that last night. And I was doing a little research in the car here, and she has pretty much no internet footprint whatsoever. She has, the only thing that she has online apparently is a Twitter account that she never uses. So, I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off. I might try contacting the label and see if they'll hook something up, but I'm kind of guessing she probably doesn't do interviews. So we'll see. So anyway, that was a great capper to the evening.
Again, these pictures are on the Instagram, the Twitter, the Facebook.
Yeah, so you can check that out. And I've been posting stuff to Twitter for the last 2 days, pictures and stuff, so you can check that out. I was a little inconsistent, you know, some of it was Twitter, some of it was Facebook, some of it was Instagram. I forgot if I posted it to Instagram, it would post it to both of the others. I should have been doing that all along, but anyway, so that was a great capper to the whole weekend. From there, we walked out to the parking lot, we waited for the 9 Circles guys, you know, said great meeting you and all that, which it was.
It was truly an honor talking to them.
It's the best part of going to these shows is meeting people and just, you know, getting to know people. So
making friends.
Yep. So we had a blast there, and we parted ways, and now we are headed home, and we're really fucking thirsty.
Yeah, we're fucking
dehydrated,
dying, and everything's closed.
And everything's fucking closed this late on a Sunday night, so it looks like it's going to be home before any liquids are to be found. So, sorry.
And it is Memorial Day now. It's here in the States.
It's just a little after midnight.
It's just a little after midnight. George, you will be spending tomorrow recuperating, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to be... I was joking. I was saying I'll wake up on Tuesday because I'm fucking tired.
I will be tomorrow. Let me first off say happy birthday to my wife, Stephanie.
Happy birthday.
Love you, babe. Even though she doesn't listen to this, but I love you. Yeah, it's there. If something ever happens to me, there's your voice. There's your drop.
Yep. All right.
But I work, so I got to pick my fucking self up and go to work tomorrow.
Yep.
But I have a whole fucking list of bands to play tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
A bunch of vinyl to listen to in the morning.
Exactly.
George, one thing you take away the most from the weekend?
Probably pain. Well, I feel like it was a really good experience. It's something we probably should have done earlier, but it's definitely something that we will be doing again. So,
yeah, mine it stuck with me. It's something I thought of when I told you I would have it when we potted later. Being surrounded by true metal fans.
Yeah.
You didn't see, you know, we've all been to the concerts. You didn't see one Slipknot shirt.
No.
You didn't see
any
Opeth. You didn't even see Opeth. You didn't even. I'm serious. You didn't see a lot of the, you know, entry level bands.
Right.
You saw true metalheads here.
Yeah.
You know, from all over. It was cool just being part of that.
Yes.
Something that, you know, every place we went to, if it was getting beer, if it was, you know, drinking last night at the club.
Being surrounded by all these people that look way cooler than we do.
Yes.
But hey, what are you going to do?
But, you know, people are like, oh, what are you there for? What type of bands? We belong to that.
And we talked to a lot of people who asked about our shirts and was like, hey, what's this about a podcast? And, you know, told them about the podcast, handed out some cards. If any of you guys are listening,
truly,
hey,
thanks.
what's up? So thanks for listening.
It was an awesome festival. You know, we learned how to. I've forgotten how to do a big festival like this.
Oh, there's one other thing I have to mention. Mr. Social Butterfly over here, he doesn't like playing by the rules. And so he quickly made friends with the lady at the exit gate. And so, you know, you can, with your wristbands, you're free to come and go, but you have to go and like show them your wristband and get searched again every time you go back in. Not this guy.
It's because I gave her a beer.
He gave her a beer, made pals with her, and every time he'd go by, he'd say something nice to her or whatever. And so then when we'd come back, we'd just go back in through the exit and let us in. I could never get away with these sorts of things. This guy, I don't know how he does it.
Yep.
I just shake my head and follow along.
But it was a fun day. No more buying of the vinyl for you today.
No, I couldn't find anything else I wanted. I think I got a big enough stack.
I picked up a couple of shirts today.
A white one.
I picked up a white shirt, yes.
The gruesome.
What am I doing?
You'll wear it and you'll like it.
I will. It's an old school throwback.
You'll come to love the white shirt and you'll be asking fans to make more.
At least it doesn't have the 3/4 length sleeves, right?
Yes.
So that's going to wrap up our potting here from Deathfest, right?
Yep. We are out of here. Hopefully we'll have a new regular podcast for you soon, and Jay will be there for that.
Yep.
And
George, it was fun again, brother. Yep. I love you, and it was a great couple days with you.
Yep. This is memories.
Yep, always is.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.